The trope of the kind protagonist has been around for quite a long time in media, and as of recently, I personally noticed quite a bit of discord around these kinds of characters. Unless a character goes from some sort of tragedy or emotional turmoil that darkens the character and makes them bitter, individuals will call them one note or boring. Characters like Tanjiro and Midoriya get slandered consistently for being empathetic towards their enemies, but there lies a misconception that they're pacifists. The term pacifist has become synonymous with the concept of the kind protagonist, and I need to make it explicitly clear that that is not what that means. The term pacifist is defined as a person who believes that war and violence are unjustifiable. An example of someone in modern media who would be considered an actual pacifist would be someone like Orihime from Bleach, in which she only used her ability to heal and defend her friends. The only time she used violence in the series was in defense of her life against Numb Chandelier and when she slapped Ulquiorra. Tanjiro is kind because that is how he was raised, and while that seems like a no-brainer of a statement, it is integral to his character. He was taught to respect life and never harm anything unless it is to defend or protect someone. For example, his father once wanted to show him a technique that, for the sake of spoilers, I will not be going into, but his father told the bear that was threatening their home that he respected that the bear was hungry and needed to eat, but he could not allow any harm to come to his home or his family. Tanjiro's father dispatched of the bear, but he did it out of necessity. We see this bright as day as Tanjiro was so enraged at the innocents that died in his battle with Daki, he began to bleed from his eyes, stating that a life that's lost can never return. It's gone forever. Despite how angry he was at Daki during this fight, and watching how her brother brutalized Tengen, he still empathized with him. Tanjiro could see that they were never shown kindness in their life, and he could have very well been in Gyutaro's position if he had not been shown kindness to himself. Tanjiro takes the life of the demons that he fights, but it is to protect. Interestingly enough, Son Goku is almost the polar opposite. Son Goku is a bit of a static character. Son Goku does not seek out those that commit evil acts out of a sense of grand purpose or the philosophy that with great power comes great responsibility. But occasionally it just happens to be out of circumstance that those that are stronger than him are villains. For example, Jiren was not a villain in any way, shape, or form. He is considered a superhero in his own universe, and he was one of the strongest people Goku ever fought in his entire career as a martial artist. Granola was on a revenge mission for his people that were slaughtered by the Saiyan race, but Granola himself is not a villain. Granola felt that he and his people were wronged and was motivated by revenge, as anyone understandably would be. The closest we've ever really gotten to Goku being a superhero is against Moro, who he actively went to go fight whilst being tasked from the Galactic Patrol. Goku is kind of in his own lane. Goku is kind in a sort of ignorant way. Goku can be rude, but is never out of maliciousness, but rather out of ignorance. Goku genuinely doesn't know better sometimes, but he still wants to treat those around him with kindness and respect. While everyone, including Beerus, was terrified of the Omni King, Goku wanted to befriend him just like any other being. Goku could immediately tell that Broly was not a bad person, but rather could not control his anger. But on the other hand, Goku has let his adversaries live out of some sort of sense of naivete or bad writing, depends on the day, that I really could not see some of our other protagonists we talk about in this video doing. Goku even calls himself selfish for asking Krillin to let Vegeta go instead of killing him in the Saiyan saga. I personally wouldn't call Goku a kind protagonist, but rather something in his own category. Aang from the Avatar series is another fantastic example of a kind protagonist. Aang was raised to respect all forms of life, and he even had somewhat of a existential crisis when he was faced with the possibility of having to take a life, and instead found another way to win the battle. Aang's vegetarianism even speaks a volume to how deeply he cares for the life of others. Aang believes that injustice should be stopped no matter how small. For example, even freeing some animals in Ba Sing Se that looked so sad because they were not in habitats that are suitable for them. Midoriya is another fantastic example. He states that when it comes to saving people, his feet just move on their own. Midoriya has no qualms about fighting those that wish to do harm to others, but his need to be a hero and to be the best version of himself is just as strong. The kind protagonist admittedly can be written as boring, but I do think that when it is written correctly, it can be integral in providing levity to stories that are in need of a light in the dark. In these stories where the world needs hope, these characters provide that in spades, and it can be extremely interesting to watch them not stray from their morals and become corrupted by the world around them. These shining beacons of hope should not be disregarded, but rather celebrated. Characters like Jonathan Joestar, Superman, Tanjiro, all of these characters are necessary in the world that they are in, because without them, who is to carry the light of hope? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, who is your favorite kind protagonist, quote unquote? Please let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, you guys have a good day. All right, peace.